What's up, guys? CryptoSavvy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every single day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We are going to be taking a look at the charts, looking at the possibility of a run up or a run down. Which do you think is going to happen? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Leave your comment in the comment section below. Let's check it out, see what's going on. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Awesome community, guys. Check it out. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. There's a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and always remember, this is my opinion, not yours. Do not trade off anybody's opinion off the internet. Always do your own due diligence. I'm here to show you the bullish and bearish case scenario, and then I'll give you my opinion. We have some targets we're going to look at, so definitely stick around. Also for Litecoin and Ethereum at the end. Let's take a look at the news headlines, get a feel for the sentiment. Really hasn't changed much from yesterday, but I'll still go over it real quick. Why the actual cost of mining can leave it. The low break-even price to mine Bitcoin may leave it vulnerable to a correction. Bitcoin will rise unless something goes really wrong. Forget 10K, Bitcoin 12K breakout will catch everyone off guard. It seems to me, I know a lot of people think that there are less bulls than bears out there, but if you really take a look around, everybody's saying that there is more bulls, in my opinion, that is bearish. 6 million Bitcoins are secured and shared custody. Bitcoin supply is limited by more than just the halvings. 90 million daily. What would it mean to sustain Bitcoin price at 100,000? Bitcoin struggling to break 10,000. But is bearish bias overwhelming? Bitcoin experts weigh in on impact of potential Satoshi. I would think it would be way better off to not know who Satoshi is, but we'll see what happens. Some of you guys that belong to my Discord know my opinion and who I think Satoshi is. Market wrap Bitcoin flat as stocks swell on positive jobs. First mover, Bloomberg's pie in the sky Bitcoin call. So let's, it's looking more bullish. There's a little bit of bearishness in here, but looking more bullish in the news. We are at 54 on the fear and greed index, same as yesterday, still in the neutral. And let's take a look at our monthly. The trend line here, to see the monthly close above this, guys, 93.40 is going to be bullish. To drop back below this and close below this is going to be neutral to bearish. Below 85.50, definitely bearish. I still believe we have a good chance coming down to retest this 55 EMA on the monthly. As of right now, it's around 52, but of course that rises as it goes on. Let's look at the weekly. So the weekly, we've talked about it. We pierced this top trend line, which is a bullish sign, but I'm still leaning bearish here. This is the weekly. This closes today. That does look like a pretty bearish candle forming. Do we come all the way back down and retest this trend line here? That would be around the $8,900 range. That is a definite possibility. I have a few targets. We will take a look at that. But a break above that 10.3 and close above that on the weekly, which I don't think is going to happen today. But it is the weekend. Weirder things have happened. If that happened, I would go extremely bullish. My target after that would be around 16,000. But of course, guys, we would have to break above the 10.5 and make that support first. Let's look at the RSI. All right, on the RSI, we had been watching this falling channel, broke out of it, came back down, got support, and now we are back up. Depending on where this candle closes, we talked about it yesterday. It's actually, the RSI is not showing divergence now here. Other than, nope, no divergence. So let's go into the daily. This is the key area. If we were to break this 10.55, I believe that would be extremely bullish, guys. We would most likely come up to retest this trend line between 11,000 and 11,200, which is the bottom of this rising broadening wedge. And then come back down, and if we were able to get support on that, obviously we'd be continuing on with our bullish move. If we were to continue straight up today, 12,000 would be the top of this. That would be one huge wick or one huge candle, but that would be the top of this rising channel. Told you guys many times why I'm bearish here. I mean, look at this rise. It's due for at least a correction. I still think it's possible we see lower lows, and the reason being is we still have a gap down here. Well, we have one gap at 7,600. We have another at 35. I think it's definitely a possibility. We could go down and test that, guys. Contrary what most channels are saying, this is still a possibility in my eyes. Not a guarantee. As you guys know, I have a target of 5,400 that I've had for quite some time right here. These white numbers here are the Fibonacci retracements of this swing low to this swing high. 0.236 is at 88.7. It's actually right around 8,900, right in that area. The 0.382 is 79.41. 0.5 is 71.32. Golden pocket zone is between 62 and 63.50. And of course, my target of the 5,400. And then we have 0.786 is the 52.51. If that breaks, we're most likely headed down to the 3,400 area. We are breaking down below the EMAs here. We are getting support right now on the 21 EMA, which is around the $9,500 range. If this breaks, guys, we do have a target of the breakdown of this channel, and that is right around the $6,800 area. If we break out of this channel, it's not to say we go straight down, guys, but I do believe we could definitely be looking for this $6,800 area. Of course, the 7,700 we know has been support and resistance for a long time. Let's look at the RSI. So on the RSI, we were watching this, and again, guys, this is the daily. We were watching this rising broadening wedge. We broke down out of it, came back, had a fake out, came back inside, but we now are falling out of it. One thing I want to look at that could be bullish, depending on how the daily closes, but as you can see, we're getting higher lows, and in the RSI, we are getting lower lows. That is hidden bullish divergence, but again, that can be erased if we break down out of this. Some of the support areas to watch would be the 55 EMA around the 8,900. I'd be looking for at least a bounce there. And then we have the 200 EMA on the daily around the 83.50 range. Those are some areas to watch for the next few days. Possibly next week we may come down and test these if we don't get support on this trend line and come up and test our $11,000 range. And then, like I said, the top of the wedge or the top of the channel, 12,000 area. If you guys are interested in trading, I'm going to leave a Bybit tutorial up top. Awesome exchange. They have Forex, gold. You can trade everything with Bitcoin on it. And I have some promo codes too. Savvy50 will get you 50% on top of your deposit. Up to 1 Bitcoin. And then Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees by using my link and my codes. I also have a Bybit and a Dudex link down below. You can use those. Those also have bonuses depending on what kind of trading you're doing. Check them both out, see which ones you like, and let's check out the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, we had this symmetrical triangle we were watching. We had this big fake out. We tried to get back above, couldn't get support on it here. And of course, now we are teetering on the bottom of this rising channel, and I am still bearish on this, guys. Like I said, the measured move of the breakdown from here is around the $6,800 range. But let's zoom in, take a closer look at where we're at. Like I said, we got to bounce off of this. The EMAs are turning over and turning bearish, guys. If we zoom in here, the 8 EMA is coming down towards the 55. If that crosses, that's probably going to give us another push down. Now, if we do break this, the first point of support I'd be looking for is a 9,200. That's around the 200 EMA. If that breaks, then we're looking at the bottom of this wedge or of this triangle here, around 91.50. And if that was to break, then we're looking at these lower lows that we were talking about. Zooming in on the 1 hour. Let's first, I want to look at the RSI here. We talked about this yesterday. We had an inverse or a head and shoulders here on the RSI, came back up, tested the neckline, came back up, almost tested it again, and now obviously you can see we're continuing down. We are creating hidden bullish divergence on the hourly, so we could get another push up to this area, maybe retest the 55 EMA again around the 9600. As of right now, we're at 9500. So that's where I'm at. And let's look at the hourly. So the hourly, we had a target up here if we were to push back up. Obviously, we've broken down. I've moved this bottom trend line. I had it up here. We pierced it a few times, so did not make sense anymore. But as you can see, we had a bunch of touches testing it here. We did break down. Guys, the measured move of this breakdown of this rising broadening wedge is that 8,900. So a lot of stuff is pointing to this $8,900 range. We still have the 92 to look for. I'd expect to bounce there before coming down lower. So keep an eye on it. Our RSI is dropping down quite a distance here. So we may get a reset. Maybe come up and retest the bottom of this rising broadening wedge around the 9650. Right around 9650 range before continuing down. So keep that in mind. It's definitely a possibility. We are not getting any divergence right here off of these two peaks. We are lower in the price and lower in the RSI. But like I said, it is down here pretty far in the RSI. But as we've seen before, the RSI has the power to come way down further. So to use this as the RSI as a buy and a sell signal is not a good idea in my opinion, and because RSIs have to reset when they're in the middle of moves, whatnot. But I've explained that a few times. If you haven't seen it, watch all my videos in the past. I try to teach a little bit of everything in every video. Let's look at that divergence. This is the daily chart, and as you can see, the orange line up top, we're beginning higher highs up here in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That is, to me, bearish divergence, and I think this is a pretty big bearish divergence. I believe this is going to play out. Like I said, that measured move of the breakdown from here is around the 6,700. It doesn't mean we get one straight candle all the way down, guys. That could take days, could take weeks, but that is the target of the breakdown from here. And usually if we break down from here, we're going to come up and retest it before continuing down. So keep that in mind. But as we've talked about before, this rising channel here, volume declining, we're in this formation. When this breaks, I believe we're going to get some extreme red volume. Before we go into Litecoin and Ethereum, check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. Awesome crypto merch down there, guys. You don't have to put what you see on this stuff. She can put anything you want. Just hit her up in the contact. Appreciate all your guys' support. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave your comments down below to help the YouTube algorithm get the video pushed out there, and we can help grow this channel. Also, share the videos if you get something out of them. All right, Litecoin on the 4 hour. This is going to be real quick. We're looking at it at the 200 EMAs around 45.25. If that was to break, most likely going to come down and retest the bottom of this channel. And that's going to be around the $43.80 to the $44 range. And if that is to break, guys, the measured move off of that is just taking the measured move of the rising channel down to here. And that is around the $36 range. We also have the golden pocket zone between the $34 and the $35 range. That is the 0.65 and 618. That would be a major bounce zone if you ask me. And then $30 range would be the 0.786, and if that breaks, and that would break if Bitcoin's broke, obviously, and we could be looking for a $20, somewhere in that range, Litecoin. Now, both Bitcoin and Litecoin, if anybody longed here, they would have their stops down here, and these would be merely stop hunts, I think, and wicks, and a continuation up. But look at the RSI here. Looks like we are coming back down to retest this area down here. Possibly we could put another trend line on these down here and say this is done. We're due for a bounce up before continuing down to break this. So look at that in the price action. So breaking that in the price action would get us down to around that $44 range for Litecoin. Ethereum, same thing. We've been watching this in the RSI on the Ethereum 4 hour. We did break this bottom trend line, guys. That is bearish. We'll most likely come back up and retest it in the RSI before continuing down. But that gets us, my target here would then be around the $214 range. And if that was to break down from there, we could be looking at a $131 Bitcoin, or Ethereum, I'm sorry. The 0.786 is around 125. If that was to break, we could be doing the same thing. If Bitcoin goes down to them lower lows, Ethereum could be seen around the $57 Ethereum. Between $57 and $80 Ethereum, which would be a stop hunt here also. Bullish case, if we broke this 247 area again and broke above this pink trend line, we could be going as high to retest the top of this rising wedge around the $300 range. That's the bullish case. I'm still sticking with the bearish. And Litecoin on the bullish, we would come up to the $51 range to test the top of this channel. That's where I'm at with it, guys. I think it's going to be a bloody Sunday, if not bloody beginning of next week. I do think the stocks are in trouble next week. I'll talk about that in tomorrow morning's video. Definitely don't forget to subscribe. All you have to do is click Crypto Savvy logo above my head and then tick the notification bell to make sure you get notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes. Leave your comments. Have a great Sunday, guys. I'm out. I will see you in the morning.